My name is Daniel and you're watching Daniel Sells Online. And who doesn't want to have a little bit of extra money in their pocket to party like a rock star in 2023, have some disposable income to go out, have a good time, take your girlfriend out, take your parents out. Who doesn't want to do that in 2023? And I know that everybody right now is suffering. They're going through a lot of financial difficulties. The economy is not what it needs to be right now. And the thing that you can do is take control of your own destiny, learn new tools, learn new skills. In this video, I'm going to offer up a new way of making money online, which is Facebook Marketplace Dropshipping. And if you're new and want to learn this process from beginning to end, then this is the video for you. Stay tuned, watch all the way through. You won't be disappointed. And at the very end, you're going to be rewarded with a lot more content from yours truly. So without further ado, let me take out these ridiculous glasses and I'll see you guys inside of the video right now. So before we get started and dive into the exact step-by-step process on how to list your first item, find your first product, and ultimately get your first sale, there's a checklist that we must go through, and this is very important because without this checklist, you're not going to know if you actually have the ability to sell on Facebook Marketplace. So let's start with number one. The first thing you need to have is a US-based Facebook account. Anyone that is located outside of the United States is going to find it very difficult to sell on the US market of Facebook Marketplace. Now, you can sell in your own market. So for example, I believe the UK and Canada have their own marketplaces. So if you're located in these areas, then you can absolutely sell in your local market. But if you want to get access to the US market, you must have a US based Facebook account. So please make note of that because that's going to be very important. Number two is that the account needs to be seasoned, and what I mean by that is that if you've been a Facebook user for a long time, then it is very likely that if you go to your marketplace, which I will show you inside of the screen, navigate over, create a fictitious listing, and then you're gonna click next. You're gonna look at the option where it will allow you to ship a product or have the product available for local pickup. If you see the option for shipping, then that means your account is seasoned. 5 years or more, I think, is kind of the window of time that Facebook is looking for anyone that wants to sell on Facebook Marketplace. And if that's the case, then you're good to go. It's going to be very difficult to drop ship anything on Facebook Marketplace without having the shipping option. So this check is one that you must do. And again, I'll show you inside of the video how you can confirm if you have this option available. Number three, you want to make sure that when you are going to be inside of your marketplace, you want to be located within your general home area. And what I mean by that, if you are a person that travels a lot from state to state, city to city, and you're logging into your marketplace every so often in different locations, this might actually cause a problem and a suspicion on Facebook's side, which can sometimes result in temporary lockouts and sometimes in extreme circumstances even bans. But for the most part, if you can actually confirm your identity and you can confirm that you were the person accessing the account from all these different locations, then you should be able to get your account restored again. But this is just a security feature that Facebook puts into place to prevent you from having the account hacked and being accessed from different areas, either within the United States or outside of the United States. So what I highly recommend in these circumstances is to only access your marketplace from your main location. It could be your home, your office, your summer home, whichever place where you spend the most time in. That's where you want to be accessing your Facebook account from your desktop computer. Now, on your mobile device, I haven't had an issue accessing Facebook Marketplace from any location that I've traveled to. So I think the problem might be linked to your desktop connection. But again, it's a risk that does exist. It's real. And if it happens to you, at least now you have a basic understanding of what are some of the things you can do to resolve that problem. You also need to consider that when you start selling on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook will ask for personal information. And one piece of information that you're going to have to input is going to be your SSN or your social security number. And this is basically for verifying your identity. and also for any tax related obligations that surface if you start to earn over X amount of dollars selling inside of the marketplace. So just be aware of that you're going to have to provide this information over to Facebook, and that's the only way that you'll be able to get access and actually sell on the platform. The last thing that I think is important that you should also know is that these Facebook Marketplace accounts are for individual sellers. So you can only have one marketplace account that is tied to one individual at a time. Do not start an account with your information and then change it over to either someone that you know, a friend, a relative. Do not do that because it's going to actually cause a lot more headaches than anything else. It's one account and one user. Now, there are ways which you can get around this and have multiple accounts, but that's a topic for another day. What I will say is that if you have a close family member that lives in the same household as you do, then potentially you could have them set up to also have their account for selling on Facebook Marketplace, and that way you can have multiple accounts instead of one. This tutorial will not be complete if at least did not show you some evidence or proof that this actually works. So for this reason, I went over inside of my own marketplace account, and I just wanted to show you some of the most recent payouts that I have received as of January. So you can see these are still very current. So the last payout was on January 29th. And the reason why I'm blurring out a lot of this information is because in Marketplace, like I explained earlier, you're selling as an individual. So a lot of your personal information is out there, and you don't want to share any of that personal information over the internet, okay? So just to give you an example, like I said, the most recent payouts, so they do vary depending on the amount of sales that you've done over a period of time. So you can see here that I had a payout for $446, then another one for $95, another one for $89, and one on the 25th for $643.74. And these are actually multiple transactions that I received a payout from Facebook Marketplace. So if you're doubting that this works, here's just a little sample of the potential that exists out there if you start selling on Facebook Marketplace today. Okay, so let's get into the actual details, into the actual meat of this video, and that is, how do I get started? How do I sell? How do I list my first product on Facebook Marketplace? But most important of all, how do I even find that first product, and where am I going to get it from? So let's dive into all those topics right now. And the very first thing I want to start out with is going to be product research, okay? This is going to be the most important step in securing any kind of success selling on Facebook Marketplace, and that is finding the right products that are in demand, that people want to buy, and not only buy once, but buy multiple times over. So I'm going to go back inside of my computer. I'm going to navigate over to some of the most popular supplier sites where you can find these products, and then we're going to go ahead and list them. And I'm going to go over a lot of different categories that I think do very well on Facebook Marketplace. So you're going to have plenty of ideas across different categories of a lot of products that you can test yourself, list them, and see if the item sells. We are going to start with Walmart.com as our main supplier for this tutorial. And the reason why is because it's super easy, friendly for beginners, and it's very easy to get started with. And you can find lots of different products across different categories. And there's nothing that you can't find on Walmart.com that you cannot dropship on Facebook Marketplace. So like I said moments ago, there are some categories that do well compared to others. So for this example, I'm going to focus on the furniture, home decor niche, and we're going to find some products we can list up in Facebook Marketplace. Now you may be asking yourself, so wait a second, why would anybody want to buy a product that they can get themselves on Walmart.com? And that is a very good question. And the answer is basically the following. Most customers who are shopping on Facebook Marketplace typically do not visit or do any kind of comparison shopping on other websites like Walmart.com. So the customer pretty much likes the ease of shopping on Facebook Marketplace. And if they find an item that they like, they are going to buy it on Facebook. They're not going to go to Walmart.com. And the fact that now Facebook offers a shipping option, it makes it that much more convenient for the Facebook customer to buy directly from Facebook. So items like these do very well on Facebook Marketplace. And the great thing about it is that Walmart does offer free shipping on all items over $35. So you can get this item to your customer within a reasonable amount of time, and you're not going to pay any shipping. You can get a very good profit margin out of that sale. So we can look at an item like this right here, and it's got a very nice main profile image. And you want to make sure that the main image on the listing is going to be something that really describes the product. You also want to look for products that have enough room in order for you to make a good profit. And what I mean by that, most people will look at this table, see that it's functional, and they would probably pay, $20 more markup on this item. So you can sell this for like $79, and you can actually keep the difference from that sale. And the customer will still think they're getting a great deal on this product. Okay, so this is how you would find a product. So I was looking at furniture, and then you can click through on Walmart.com, and you can see here that there's so many different options when it comes to furniture. So you have for the bedroom, for the living room, for your office. And let's look at this niche right here. So these office desks have done very well for me as well. As you know, a lot of people continue to work from home, and they need, an office desk in order to work. So these are very popular items. And for some reason or not, on Facebook Marketplace, these items are very, very popular. And you have a lot of different variety of different items that you can find and then list them on your own Facebook Marketplace. So this is a very simplified way of getting ideas on what products to list. Now there is more logic. There's things that you have to consider as well before listing, which we are going to cover a little bit later on. Now, if you are looking for more insights, a lot more details, more tricks, formulas, tips, very more specific topics that I cannot possibly cover in just one video, then I highly recommend you check out my full course linked down below. Now that we know what supplier you can use as a complete beginner to start looking for possible products that you can dropship on Facebook Marketplace, I want to now explain to you how you can reverse engineer and go from the supplier site, which in this case is Walmart.com, find a product, and then how can you locate if that product right now is being listed and possibly even has been sold on Facebook Marketplace, because that way you have more proof that you're not listing some random product, but actually items that other dropshippers have found to do well, and they actually have some selling history on Facebook Marketplace. So staying within the furniture, home decor niche, I went ahead and moved over to another category, which is bookshelves. Now bookshelves, once again, do very well on Facebook Marketplace. And if you search bookshelves like I just did, you're going to see that there's tons and tons of listings of this product already inside of the marketplace. So you might think that, hey, maybe it's a little bit saturated, there's way too many bookshelves, but it's not really the case, because every bookshelf is different. They have different functions, different designs, different colors. So there's no way that you can saturate the market with too many bookshelves, okay? So I want to look at this listing right here, because this is a perfect example of an item that is being sourced from Walmart.com. And to save us some time, I have already gone over to Walmart and I searched for, bookshelves. And here is the actual listing from Walmart.com. Look at the image, same picture. We go back to our search results on Facebook Marketplace, and you can see that in fact it is the same listing and it's selling for $80 on Facebook Marketplace, and you can get it from Walmart.com for $49.88. Now, whether this item has sold or not, you actually can navigate over from within the search area. There's some options for you to filter. You can actually select sold. So if you do that, it's going to narrow it down to the listings that have recently sold. It looks like we lost the item that we were looking at. So potentially that item has not sold, but all is not lost, because you can see now, even though the exact item we were looking for doesn't appear to have sold yet, you still get a lot of valuable information, because now you get to see all the other similar shelves that have sold on Marketplace, and you can go back to Walmart.com and look for similar items, and you can list all of them onto your own individual account. So you have this one right over here that's sold, and you have quite a few others that you can actually choose from and list up, and there will be a high probability that that item will sell. Now, I know for a fact I recognize this item right here because I've been doing this for a very long time. This item does in fact come from Walmart.com. It has sold for $65. If I go back to their website, and I'm gonna go back to the main page where we had all of the bookshelves, we're back into the Walmart website, and you can see right here that these two are very similar. I will have to go back and just see if it's the same image. It appears to be. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves, very similar to this one right over here, or it could also be this one over here. Nonetheless, this item has sold. You can find it on Walmart.com, and you can list it up, and the likelihood that it will sell for you increases quite a lot. Now, this other item right here, also very similar product. It looks like it's come from Walmart.com. Now, the images might vary a little bit because the actual seller, they do sometimes update their main product image. The item could have been listed like a month ago, and maybe the product image on the supplier side has changed, but it still is the same product, and you can still get it from the same supplier. So this is how you would basically prove that the items that you are finding from your supplier site sell on Marketplace. You have more examples of other similar items that you can list, and that way you can start building up your catalog of items on Facebook. So now that you have some of the basic fundamentals on how to find a supplier, find a product, and find a possible niche that you can start sourcing items for and listing them on Facebook Marketplace, let's talk about some tips, strategies, and some hints that I think are going to help you when you're first getting started out. Now, the first thing I want to say is that there is a great strategy you can implement right away that will help to increase your profits, and that is simply by charging a shipping cost to your Facebook Marketplace customer when you're going to put up your item for sale. So what I mean by that is that you'll list your item, you will price it at whatever profit margin you want to earn. Let's just say that you want to earn at least a 20% profit on that sale. So let's say that is a $100 item you're going to sell. 20% profit of that is going to be $20. And let's say you want to make a little bit more on that sale, then you can add a shipping cost that the customer has to pay for. So let's just say you're going to sell a big, bulky desk, and the cost of shipping is going to be $15. So that means that the $20 you're getting from the initial sale of the product plus the $15 shipping cost that you're going to charge, those two combined is going to be $35. That will be the potential profit for that sale. And that's just a really quick way to increase your profits by putting in a little bit extra and charging shipping to your customers. Here's another bonus tip that you may have not even considered, either because you don't know about this or you have no idea that this can even be used for drop shipping, and that is ChatGPT. If you've been living under a rock or you have no idea what ChatGPT, This is basically a AI language model that has taken over the internet over the last few weeks. We are back inside of my computer. So I asked ChatGPT to explain what it is. What ChatGPT is a program that can talk just like a real person. It can answer questions. It can tell you stories. And pretty much anything that you want to know, ChatGPT will tell you. And it's basically because it is an artificial intelligence model that was developed. It is collecting data from a database from all different sources and is pulling that information in and crafting these amazing responses that blow your mind. So let me just give you a quick example of something that you could use ChatGPT for in case you have no idea. And the prompts are simple. You just type in plain English, you want to be as clear as you can be and give it direct instructions. Let's write, how can I find great products to dropship on Facebook Marketplace? Let's see what it comes up with. So you see right there that it's coming up with a compilation of responses. So number one, it says research your competition, to use social media to find suppliers, look for product reviews, choose products that are in demand. So this is actually a great example because we just went through that one right now in the video where I showed you how you would find products that are in demand. So it actually guessed a good method on how to find products. And then the last one is asking about setting a budget, which is not very relevant to what we're trying to do, but you can actually say, list more examples and it'll start typing out more examples for you. Now, this was very broad search because what we're doing is drop shipping. We're not actually selling like physical products that we have on hand. So the response might change a little bit, but you can see here that it's telling you to, get into a network of other sellers, and then you can start to figure out, some ideas. Like, for example, you can join a community like mine on Discord, link down below, and you can network with other dropshippers. Check online forums, utilize product research tools. So number 8 is on point. I haven't talked too much about product research tools inside of this video, but that's definitely an option that is out there that can help you find products. I use Zeek Analytics as my main product research software, which I would go into in detail in another video. I use Zeek Analytics as my go-to product research software, and I'll link a video either over here or over here where I actually had a very good interview with the CEO of Zeek Analytics, and we go in a very thorough tutorial on how to find products using that tool. And if you are interested in checking it out, then please use my affiliate link down in the description. I really appreciate it. It does help the channel out tremendously. So let's recap some of the content you have already watched on this video. So we have learned what supplier works best for beginners. We have learned, what products tend to do well on Facebook Marketplace. I gave you some examples of categories that have been proven to work, and also what strategies you can implement right away in order to make some more profits on those sales. And lastly but not least, we talked a little bit about ChatGPT and how this AI can really help you to hone in on more specific questions around product research, even creating product titles, which we did not cover in this video, but these are just ideas of different tasks that you can ask ChatGPT to do for you, and it's very effective at creating very SEO friendly titles to really help to have your customer, get their attention and ultimately click on your listing. Now I want to segue over to creating your first listing. So now that we found products that we think are going to do well, the next step is obviously to get it listed on Facebook Marketplace. So let's go ahead, let's go back inside of my computer and let me walk you through how this would work. I am going to do this completely manual. I'm not going to use any software, and that way you learn exactly how to do it yourself before you decide to invest in any software to do it for you. All right, so here we are, and you're now ready to create your very first listing on Facebook Marketplace. You should be proud of yourself. Congratulations for watching up until this point. And if you haven't yet liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you're watching us for the very first time, then please consider subscribing. So the first thing you want to do is navigate over to create new listing, and then you're going to want to click on item for sale, and it's going to bring you over to this template that you see in front of you. Now, because we're doing this in a manual process, which is a bit time consuming, it's actually the best way to learn when you're first starting out as a beginner anyways. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to save the product images first, and then I'm going to come back and continue on with the rest of the listing. So let me pause, get the images copied over, and then we'll resume. Okay, so I was able to get the images over onto Facebook Marketplace, and what I would recommend is that you screen grab or screen capture the images. Don't save the images directly from the website, because sometimes you have information that is connected to that image, which is known as metadata. So to be sure that you're not bringing in any of that metadata, I highly suggest that you screen capture these images, which is exactly what I just did. And you want to make the best picture as your main profile image. Now, when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, I know I didn't touch on this in the beginning of the video, but when it comes to the main photo, typically the images that do better are review photographs. So for example, if you go to a website where they're selling this product, which in this case is Walmart.com, if they had a place for customers to leave reviews, then you would want to take the pictures that are in that review section and make that your main profile image. But because Walmart doesn't have that, you can actually find similar photographs on Amazon.com. And on Amazon, customers do leave reviews and upload images. So you want to use those. If they're not available, you can always use the lifestyle image, which is this one right here. And that's the one that kind of shows the product, how it would look in the space that it's going to be. So in this case, it's in a living room. So that's your lifestyle image. And we're going to use that one for this example. Okay. So now that you have your images, and I know that was a very long-winded explanation. I am sorry. That's the best way I was able to figure out, how to explain this to you. And then when it comes to the title, you can come back over here and you want to take like the main keywords of the item. You don't want to use the brand, which in this case is Mainstays. Do not use the brand in the name. So we're going to use 5-shelf bookcase for sure. We're going to use this because that is going to, accurately describe what we're trying to sell. And what you want to do is you want to scroll down and you want to look at the details and the product description to see if there's anything else that draws our attention that could be relevant information. Okay, 5-shelf adjustable bookcase. You know what, I'm not really liking this titles right now, so let me pause for a second so I don't drag this on, and I'm gonna title it and then I'm gonna explain to you why I titled it the way that I did. Okay, so thanks for waiting. So it took me about a minute or so. For you guys, it should be seconds. So I rewrote it and I actually included the word new in the beginning of the actual product title, because if you're not aware, a lot of customers who buy on Facebook Marketplace typically are looking for bargains, and a lot of times these bargains are used products. So it's good to note on your listing that the product itself is new, so that way the customer knows what they're getting. So I went ahead and did that, and then I included the actual height so they know how tall the shelf is. So I put 71-inch white 5-shelf storage bookcase with adjustable shelves. So I think that really captures exactly what the customer is getting, and that's kind of the point of the video, is you want to make sure that you are very descriptive and that you're getting the information that is going to help the customer understand what they're buying. Okay, so now we're going to look at the price, and you can see here that this item sells for $34.96. So unfortunately, this might have been a bad example because this item is not gonna sell for free shipping because it's not more than $35. Still not a big deal. Walmart doesn't charge a lot of money for shipping. So we're gonna incorporate that into our actual cost. So we're gonna just round this up to $40, okay? So it's gonna cost us $40 to buy, and we wanna come up with a price on Facebook Marketplace. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I showed you an example of an item that I already sold, and I think the selling price was $65, okay? So are we gonna stay within the price that the market says this product is going to sell? So we're gonna list it for $65, and then the category is gonna be bookcase. We already know that our condition is new, and you can add more details here. It's not required, but you can. And then the number of shelves, we know that is 5. The more detail you add here, then the likelihood the customer will ask you less questions. But on Facebook Marketplace, you still get asked a bunch of questions about the product. So right here, you're gonna need to come up with a description. So that part is already easy for you because the product description is already here. Now, what I recommend is that you only stick to the information that is going to be relevant. So what I like to do is only stick to the actual like bulleted descriptions, because it tells you like the weight, the dimensions, and some other information that is also relevant. Now, since this item is a variation, it's also including here the other colors that are available. But because we're only listing the white one, it doesn't really apply. So what you can do is you can just copy over only the bulleted points. You don't need the paragraph, or you don't need the title. You just want the features of the product, and you want to paste it over, and it's going to look kind of messy, okay? You're going to have to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so I took another slight pause because I wanted to go back and kind of fix the description a little bit. So when you copy paste text into the description, it kind of lumps everything together. So you're going to have to space it out. And as you can see, I only took the relevant features that were listed on the website. I got rid of the additional information with the different color descriptions. So I just wanted to keep the very basics, the product weight, the dimensions, and some of this copy here where it tells you about the weight, that it has adjustable shelves. So I kept only the most important things, and that's what I recommend you also do when you're creating your listing. So once you have this already looking as nice as you can get it, then it's going to ask you for your location. So in this case, wherever you are within the United States. So I am in Miami, and I can go ahead and list my location, Miami. And if you don't want nobody to see your listing because you want to keep the fact that you're selling on Marketplace a secret, you can do that too. You can go ahead and just check this off, and it'll hide from friends. And at this point, if you feel comfortable with everything that's already there, you can go ahead and click next. And then at this point is where you can go ahead and hit publish, and then your listing will go live on Facebook Marketplace, and you can start selling right away. All right, you did it. You finally created your listing. Your product is now up in Marketplace and it's ready to sell. Congratulations. A big round of applause because you accomplished a feat that most people would not dedicate even a minute to putting in the work, putting in the effort, and start generating some semi-passive income in 2023. Now, this is a great way to sell online if you're just starting out and you have no prior experience doing anything within e-commerce. Selling on popular marketplaces such as Facebook Marketplace is a great way for beginners to get started. And like I mentioned moments ago inside of the video, if you want more detailed information, more self-guided data on what you need to do with listing, product research, just setting up your store in general, then I highly recommend you check out my full course, link down below. And I also want to invite you to join my Discord group, which is totally free, also linked down below. And if you like the content, please like the video. And I want to invite you to check out this video linked over here or over here, where there'll be a lot more valuable information on everything drop shipping. So I'll see you in that video right now.